Okay, today we're going to do a couple of demonstrations, and the purpose of these demonstrations is for us to understand a concept that we need to know about in order to understand the water cycle. So the first thing I'm going to start with is a beaker, and just a regular beaker, dry beaker. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some ice into the beaker. So I'm going to fill it up with some ice cubes here. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take and I'm going to pour in water to make the water really, really cold, okay? And right now, you'll notice that when I rub a tissue over the beaker, it comes away dry. Now, we're going to let this sit. Let's say we let it sit for about 10 minutes. And I have another beaker here that I've done the same thing to, and this one has been sitting for about 10 minutes. And I think what you're going to see is something that you're pretty familiar with, that now my beaker on the outside has this kind of misty fog on it. And when I kind of spin it around, I see little places where there is some little water drops here and there. Okay, and there we go, there's a good example. You can see on the side right here that there's some water drops, okay, that have formed. And now when I take my tissue and I want to pick up those water drops, you can see that the water drops are clear. So the water drops did not come from inside the glass. And my question is, where did that water come from? Okay, so right now what I want you to do is I want you to stop the video and I want you to draw what happened in your notebook. Okay, make sure that you draw little tiny drops of water on the outside. And I want you just to write down what happened with this beaker. Do that right now. Okay, for the second investigation or the second demonstration today, I'm going to start with two more beakers. These also have blue water in them. And both of these have been heated up. So now we're dealing with a little bit of warm water, not hot, but just warm. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to put a lid on each one. This one gets a lid. This one's going to get a lid. Okay? And on the lid of one of them, I'm going to put oops, epic fail. Let's try this again. Put an ice cube up there. In fact, I might try 2 or even 3 ice cubes. Okay? Now let's give this a minute or two and we'll see if we can see if anything's happening here. Okay. Now all right, so it's been a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and take the ice cubes off of my lid here. Okay, and I'm going to dry this little pool of water up here that was on top of my lid. Oops, don't want to knock that in. All right, and then now what I want to do is I want to compare the lids. Let's take a look at these lids. I'm going to flip it over, the first one and the second one. Okay, and then I'm going to show you what we're looking at here. If we look at these lids now, you can clearly see that the lid on the right has a lot more water drops on it than the one on the left. So that cold ice cube made more water drops on top of that lid. All right, so right now what I want you to do, and first of all, also look and notice, let me get my tissue here. If I blot these water drops off here, my tissue is still white. So those water drops are clear. All right, I want you to stop the video and just make an illustration and explain what happened in this video as well.